Okay, so it's August the 9th now, and 2021, and I need to do an oil change on my 30-inch Toro Timemaster. The manual calls for 20 ounces of oil, so that's what I'm going to fill it in with once I get it filled up. But I'm going to drain it. I'll let it run for a few minutes so it's warm. I got this mower brand new, never used before, no fluids in it, for about $600 from a guy that had it on a truck that was getting rid of a bunch of stuff that he had purchased that he wasn't going to use anymore. Of all the Time Masters I've had, and I've probably had 7 or 8 by now, this one is the best by far. I've never measured the idle speed, but it is the perfect speed. The first several I got, they didn't mow. The engine RPMs weren't high enough for it to be effective at mowing, and they told me that there was nothing wrong with it when I had it looked at. So, but this one, ironically, cuts really, really well. And it's been a good mower to have, and I don't do a lot of push mowing, but there's some properties that I have to get in a small area, or on occasion I get someone that calls me that has a home on the market and they want it bagged for it to be shown. So I'm happy to do that then. But anyway, all I'm going to do here is come over and open up the oil dipstick right here. So I'm going to set it over here to the side. Again, all I did was, actually I'm going to set it over here out of the way. All I did was let the motor run for a few minutes. And now I'm going to come out and tilt it over and start getting the oil to come out so I can drain it. And anyway, come out here, see, drain it like so. Usually I'm a little more organized when I do this, but let it come out. You can see it's nice and fluid right now. I don't know what that was that just come out of there. Let that drain. Now there are a couple things you can do. I'll let it drain what I believe to be okay and drain out. This doesn't have an oil filter or anything to move out. So I'll just go right over to putting 20 ounces of oil into it and call it a day. But there's on the dipstick, obviously, there's a measure level. And typically what I do is there's, let me see here, you won't see it on my camera, but there's a line on the dipstick. I mean, you change the oil before, there's nothing really hard about it. You just make sure that it's not north of that. You put too much oil in it and there's too much oil pressure, it can be bad for your mower. So you don't want to do that. Now, come over and from here I got a quart of 10W40. This is the oil that I use on all my mowers, and I'm going to dump this in through a filter so you can't see me right now. I got myself a filter over here, and I always wipe my filters out really well. So you don't get any debris or anything into the engine and the oil crankcase. So here we are. Got your funnel. Dip it down like so. 32 ounces of oil here. I'm going to pour it down until I got 12. All I'll do is come out and pour it. Now there are a couple things. Obviously, when you pour oil, this is the right way to pour it, like this. You'll notice the container and the grooves. It allows the container to breathe, so that it comes out in a decent level. So we're going to continue pouring this down. I pour it in slow. And right there is 20 ounces. Boom. I'm actually maybe a quarter of an ounce. There we go. Okay, so anyway, that's pretty much it. From there, I just bring it in, fire it up, and let it go. If you got too much oil, when you do your oil change, what will happen is you'll get some white smoke that will come out of the motor. But anyway, it's really easy to change the oil. It just takes a few minutes. I get under the next and scrape the underside of the deck off, sharpen the blades if I need to, and I'm good to go. But I run this thing. It probably gets used 5 or 6 times a week. Not a whole lot by any means, but it's nice to have it serviced and ran through. And then occasionally I'll run seafoam through the fuel too, and try to find fuel that doesn't have any alcohol in it. There's a gas station not too far from where I live that I can go and keep the carburetor clean so it runs more clean. But anyway, that's it. Changing the oil is pretty doggone simple on that Timemaster. Peace.